This episode is a very special one for me because I am here with pharmacy students as well as musicians here in Hagel Hall. I'm here with Felicia Onawola and Arianna Dollinger. Thank you guys so much for being here on Living the Pharm Life.
Thank you for having us.
Of course, thanks for having us.
Yeah, so to start, can you guys tell me a little bit about yourselves?
Yeah, would you like to start?
Sure. I'm Felicia Onawola, as you said. I'm a third-year BSPS student, and I'm from Madison, Alabama.
All right, I'm Arianna. I'm from Muncie, Indiana. Not as interesting as yours. And I'm a fourth year, so I'm a P4, my last year of pharmacy school.
So, let's start. What about pharmacy interests you?
Well, I like the scientific research aspect and like the innovation. And so, yeah, I'm particularly interested, or I've always been interested in drug discovery. So I started in an organic chemistry lab this past year. So yeah, getting to really explore that and do summer internships that help me also delve into that interest. So yeah.
I've always known I've wanted to be in the medical field. I just wasn't sure which part of it. So like I really liked, forensics when I was a kid. I liked puzzles and different things. So to me, pharmacy and like figuring out what drug fits best for a patient based on cost, based on comorbidities and all those things, kind of like my type of forensics. And like my mom's a nurse. I have a lot of people in healthcare in my family, so I knew that's what I wanted to do, to help people, as cliche as that is. But so I just found that pharmacy was my perfect fit for all those things.
Yeah, you both clearly have a passion for pharmacy. How about your passion for music? How did you find that?
Well, I started when I was 5, not by choice, but I did not oppose to the idea. I started with my sister, and then 7, I started to do orchestra, then chamber ensembles, competitions. So, you start to join a community and friends and help you be more competitive as an instrumentalist. So it was good.
Now, along those lines, I didn't necessarily have a choice either, but I'm happy I did it. So I started at the age of 5 as well. Both my parents have their doctorates in music. That's why we ended up in Muncie at Ball State. So my mom plays flute and piccolo, and my dad conducts and plays bass. So they chose violin for me. And I also play flute and piccolo as well, and some piano, but piano's not that great. So I just grew up in rehearsals and listening to concerts as a toddler, and had baby Mozart CDs on when I was a baby. So I've always just had a love for it, and it just stuck with me. And luckily Purdue, as we'll talk about in a little bit, just was able to keep that going.
Yeah. I had a slightly different, I more forced my mother to let me play an instrument. I was, the ripe old age of 8 years old. In my music class in elementary school, we had listened to Peter and the Wolf. Are you guys familiar with Peter and the Wolf? It's like a Russian opera.
Yep.
And each character is played by an instrument, and the bird is a flute. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And so I went home from school that day and I said, Mom, I'm gonna learn how to play the flute. She was like, oh yeah, that's great. And then every single day I kept going back. I was like, where's my flute? Where's the flute? I'd never really seen a flute in my entire life. I had just heard the old Russian opera of it. And I was like, that's gonna be me. And
I love it.
Here we are. She tried to get me to play piano at first. I've never played piano in my life, but shows how stubborn I could be with that. Felicia, what instruments do you play?
I play violin / viola, and then played trombone, marching band in high school, and piano. Yeah.
All right. So I feel like we got a pretty talented group right here. We're here in Hagel Hall. Obviously, everybody here is part of the bands program. What bands have you participated in while you're here at Purdue?
I'm just in the Philharmonic Orchestra. Mm-hmm.
Just in the Philharmonic
I know,
Orchestra.
Right? Just in the top one. So I've been playing in them since 2018. So we actually started as 2 orchestras, and we've now grown to 4, which is a testament to the program for sure. So back for a couple years, I was in Philharmonic. I've been in a couple of the symphony orchestras. I just kind of bounce around a little bit based on scheduling, really. So kind of been all over the place.
Yeah. Just in the Philharmonic. Why Purdue? I mean, we're all here in our Purdue gear today. Obviously, we're here for pharmacy, we're here for music, but what actually drew you to Purdue itself?
I can start if you want. So for me, I mean, I applied to a bunch of different pharmacy schools. I came to Purdue in the first place because it was in-state. My family's always loved Purdue. At the time, I didn't really know much about the orchestras, but once I was here, it's honestly the perfect fit. Like when I looked at Butler, when I looked at other schools, you have to be a music major to play in their orchestras. And here, like Professor Bodoni says, like our majors are our main thing, and we're here just to play music and to have fun and be with fellow musicians. And it's so perfect because it's not performance-based where we're stressed about auditions. I mean, we still are, but you know, where it's for a grade and things like that. And it makes it very low-key, and we're able to do our majors and pursue our passion in music at the same time. So that really made Purdue just perfect for both of the things I wanted to do, pharmacy and music.
Good. And I also applied to several other schools. I was thinking I might be like a biochemistry major, but I was like, I know I want to do pharmacy. So I'm here majoring in pharmaceutical sciences. I want to be able to apply science to like the clinical realm. So yeah, and there's been so many opportunities here that have supported my ideas. So yeah, I don't regret it.
Yeah, that's fantastic. And I mean, I'm glad that you guys chose to be here. Otherwise, we wouldn't be right here right now. And I'm having a pretty good time. So I'm glad we all ended up in this place together. So as we all know, pharmacy is a very intense major. Why is it so important for you to have a creative outlet outside of pharmacy, like this music hall?
Well, you know, something just to have something to like remove your mind from the stress. And funny enough, there's actually a lot of pharmacy students that play in the orchestra, Philharmonic Orchestra, and they also play violin. So you have people to confide in, be like, how was that exam? Not good. It's really cool.
Yeah, kind of the same thing. It's just I'm using my brain in a different way. I mean, in a way, music is a lot of math. It's kind of a lot of the same things, honestly. But just losing myself in a piece and just being somewhere else outside of pharmacy really kind of takes you away from that stress. Dean Barker and I actually connected on that because he played viola when he was in pharmacy school. So when I met him, I was like, oh, hey, we both play string instruments, you know, and that was his creative outlet too. So like we've really connected on that, and that was awesome. Just really getting away, because you can, you know, do other things, but I feel like music can take you to a different place. At least it does for me.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. It's just a different way to express yourself, especially like frustrations from an exam. You can just
Take it out on Shostakovich.
Exactly. All right, so what are your long-term goals after you leave Purdue?
So at the moment, I'm starting to look into residency programs. Yay. Not stressful at all. But looking all over the place. But long term after that, as far as pharmacy, I'm really interested in the VA. I would love to also be an adjunct clinical professor, maybe find a specialty that I love, serve our veterans, you know, work as a clinician, but also give back to students. But then my mom, so she got her doctorate, and then she went back to become a nurse. So she's a nurse now and also still has her studio. She teaches, she plays in an orchestra, and I would love to do something like that. You know, have my professional career within pharmacy and then also still play in an orchestra later after residency and finding a job and all that stuff. So a little far off, but that's my goal, is to still participate in music somehow later. What about you, Felicia?
Well, I'm thinking, okay, grad school, get a PhD in or medicinal chemistry or synthetic chemistry, we'll see, and then maybe get a postdoc afterwards. I don't know. I'm thinking professor. It's kind of like 51-49 right now. Either be a professor or just work in the R&D sector of a pharmaceutical company. So we shall see. Yeah.
What about you?
Right now I'm thinking of going into nuclear. After graduation and everything, not quite sure how everything's gonna shake out, but I've worked in nuclear for the past 2 summers. I love it, so hopefully I'll be heading that way after graduation. And like you, I'd love to find either a band or an orchestra to keep playing in the future. I feel like it's a great way to meet people too. there's only so much pharmacy talk that I can take before I'm like, let's talk about this band piece instead, guys.
Exactly.
Same.
Yeah.
Or even like teach, because I've done that. So continue to teach on the side, that would be fun.
Fantastic. All right. So I have one final question for you guys. Before closing out every episode, I like to ask kind of like a fun little weird question. So my question for you today, do you call it soda or do you call it pop?
Pop.
Soda.
Ooh,
What about you?
soda. Pop is outnumbered.
Weird one.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry to say.
I know. I'm the one from Indiana, right? That's why.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much for being here today. It's been really great having you.
That's great.
Thank
Do
you
we-
for
yeah.
having us.
Of course. Do we want to close out this episode by playing a little bit of Hail Purdue?
Oh,
Of course.
Fantastic. All right, let's grab our instruments.